and gentlemen, it is me. My name is Zander Rice, and you're watching or you're listening to the Zander Rice Show. This is our 4th episode. We do them every week, so we're 1 month into this thing, and looking back on all of the time that we've spent together, I think it's going pretty good. Hey, let me know what you guys think of the show down in the comments. If it sucks, it sucks. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Oh my god, shut up, phone. So sorry about that. That was very unprofessional. Last week we had a very special guest by the name of Kai Delgadillo, whatever you want to call him. He's my buddy Kai, and so that episode was last week. If you guys want to check it out, don't worry, there's going to be plenty of more special guests in the future. Got them all lined up, got them all ready to go. But this episode, I just wanted to sit down with you guys and do a little bit of one-on-one, because we're in the first week of this celebratory celebration is what I'm going for. Celebratory month of ZRice Films, my channel here, because we're celebrating 10 years. Almost 10 years ago, I believe it was July 7th, 2024, this little YouTube channel of mine started. And did I say July 7th, 2021? I meant July 7th, 2014. My goodness, my brain is all over the place today. That's because we have so much to talk to, so much to get to, and I'm kind of sweating my balls off here with this sweater. I couldn't find my other ZRice Films related merch, so I decided to wear this sweater, and it's a little hot today, but no worries, I'm suffering through it because it looks pretty cool on camera. Alright, but yeah, so almost 10 years ago to the day now, I started this little YouTube channel of mine. And this episode is just kind of talking about that, reflecting on the past a little bit, and looking towards the future. And by the future, I mean what's going to happen this month. I've been posting a lot about it on Instagram and social media and TikTok and whatnot. Follow me at all those, at ZRice Films. I've been posting a lot about this celebratory month. 10 years, the 10th anniversary of ZRice Films. What's going to happen? What's going to go down? And let me tell you, I don't want to give away too much, and I'm not going to give away every single video that's going to drop later this month, but I can give you some ideas because there's a lot going on. So this month is just the content, as you know, is going to pretty much stay the same. You're going to get your movies, you're going to get your vlogs, you're going to get your reviews, you're going to get your crazy randomness, other skits and whatnot. The content is going to stay the same, except we're going to ramp it up to 11. We're going to do some throwbacks. We're going to do some sequels to old content. Do some reimaginings. You know what I'm saying? Say your favorite video is Run 2. Me playing Run 2, there's a video of me playing Run 2 out there, the video game Run 2. And it has over like 20,000 views, I believe. And it was my top watched video for like probably 7 out of the 10 years here at ZRice Films. And so yeah, if you like that, hey, maybe I'm gonna play Run 2 again, so those are the kind of videos that I'm gonna be making. So just kind of honoring the past and cementing the future. That's what we're gonna do here this month. That's what's gonna happen. ZRice Films 10th anniversary month. You're watching it right now, actually. This video is part of it because we're looking back, because we're going to be talking about the past, and of course other things. As you know, this is a finance podcast. We talk about stocks and bonds and trades, so we got to talk a little bit about that as well. But before we do all that, I would like to thank today's sponsor, Monster Energy. Monster Energy Zero Sugar, to be honest. Yeah, just kidding. Monster would never sponsor me because I'm too gay. Shit. Well, help me. I gotta put this down for a second. Why can't I open this can? Why is it so difficult? This is embarrassing. Why won't this open? There we go. Cheers. There was a time where I drank way too many of those, and I think I've talked about it a little bit on the podcast. Not a good thing. I don't condone caffeine overdosing. I don't condone it. I really don't. So I try to keep it to a minimum nowadays. But we're going to talk a little bit about this guy right here, because this guy was kind of the beginning of a lot of things. This mask I wore as the character Derek. Derek starred in a little film called Vex, and I think Vex was kind of the turning point in a lot of ways, because my films before that, and Vex did come out in 2014, so very early on as well. Or was it 2015? It might have been 2015 Vex came out. Sorry, I've made a whole slew of films. So when Vex came out, it was the first film that I had done using a green screen. It was the first film I had kind of done in the science fiction realm of things. And while it is mostly an action film, it's one of the earliest films in the ZRice universe as well. And I'd like to talk about the ZRice universe a little bit here. So if you're new to the channel, you see all the crazy things I post. You see all the vlogs and unboxings and weird things that I do nowadays. And that's just kind of the direction the channel is taken. But, we still like to do films and short films and stuff like that. But for a large chunk of ZRice films, from about 2014 to 2021, I was hooked on making this thing called the ZRice universe. Almost every film that I released during 2014 to 2021 were all interconnected. They were all part of this one super universe, cinematic universe, called the ZRice universe. And you could watch that on my channel. I have a playlist called Our Universe, and you watch it from the beginning, which the first film was called The Journey, all the way to the end. The last film was called The Justice Force. And there's about 40 films in there and skits and stuff like that, so they're not all movies. The shortest one is probably 2 minutes long, and the longest one, The Justice Force, is 3 hours. So 2 minutes to 3 hours, there's 40 of them in there, but they all tell one story of heroes coming together. And Derek here of Vex is the hero of that story. Well, there's many heroes, but he's kind of the main one, I would say. There's always got to be a main protagonist. You look at Star Wars, and you got Luke Skywalker as the main protagonist. But then again, you could go the other route and say, well, he's not just the only hero. There's Princess Leia, there's Han Solo, there's Rey Skywalker now. So he is the Luke Skywalker, but there's other heroes as well in the ZRice universe. Delicious. Wow. So the ZRice universe started with The Journey. The Journey was a little film that I made with my brother Blaze and my friend Mr. Chris McFlurry. Chris just would, have friends over when you're kids and stuff like that. So 10 years ago, I was 11 years old. So 11-year-old me and Chris just having a little play date thing, and we were like, let's make a movie. And so he was like, all right. And we were just kind of bouncing ideas off each other. Ooh, what if this happens? What if this happens next? So like, all right. So we're just shooting it as it happens, off the rim. There's no script or nothing like that. Little did I know that was gonna turn into the first film in the ZRice universe, so to speak. So yeah, that kind of happened. And the rest is history, as I should say. I'm going to be releasing a full-length documentary, actually, called the ZRice Films The First 10 Years. And it's going to be a pretty lengthy documentary, just me going over, stuff like The Journey, our early videos, up until current content. And just reflecting, maybe get some interviews with some people. And so I'm working on that. I'm working on that right now as of this recording. So, but it should be out pretty soon, I'd say. I don't have a guaranteed release date quite yet, but hey, it's coming soon. Another thing I want to talk about is this guy right here. Now, in The Journey that I was just talking about, this is the Henchman. This is his name, the Henchman. He's the villain in that film, and he's the villain in the ZRice universe as well. Now, I said there's many heroes, Derek being one of them, but the Henchman is pretty much the He's the Darth Vader. Okay, he's the Darth. We got our Luke Skywalker. We got our Darth Vader. You know, as in Star Wars, there's many different villains. You got Count Dooku, Palpatine, but this guy, he reigns supreme among the rest. Would you consider Vader or Palpatine the main villain? Palpatine has been around for a long, long time. He surpassed Anakin in lifespan. Who's the main villain, really? Whoa. Do you guys ever think about that? I still think it's Vader, though. Palpatine, they brought him back for Rise of Skywalker. I don't know. It just didn't seem right, I don't think. Here I go about Rise of Skywalker again. I could talk about that film and its faults for days. Listen, I know a lot of people give The Last Jedi flack, or at least they used to when it came out, but I wrote an early review of it, and I actually liked it a lot, and I went back a few times and watched it. Didn't really care about it too much, so my opinions have varied over the years. But nowadays, I think it's a good movie, but it's not a good Star Wars movie. You watch, like, Empire, and then you watch Last Jedi. There's a bit of a switch in there in terms of tone and vibe, and that's all fine and good. You know, you get 8 films down the line, things are going to switch up in vibe and tone. But it's just the nature of the film. It's kind of hard to explain. Just I think all the campiness is gone. The fun is gone. A lot of what made Star Wars a family fun film, George Lucas says Star Wars is for children. It kind of got lost, I think, in The Last Jedi. Yeah, pretty much. So that's my opinion on that. I went to Star Wars Celebration a few years ago with my buddy, and we had a good time. She got it for tickets for me for my birthday, and it was one of the best times ever. Probably one of the coolest conventions I've ever been to. I was looking around, and I was like, man, there's a lot of nerds around here, and then I looked at myself, I was like, oh, wait, that means I'm a nerd too. And I wear my nerd badge big and proud. I mean, just look at the shelf behind me. It's filled with action figures. I mean, if that makes me a nerd, then so be it. And I'm not just one of these people that collect Funko Pops and say, I'm so nerdy. No. I have been kind of a nerdy kid since I was conceived. I wanted to be a toy collector. I was a toy collector. I collected dozens and dozens and dozens of action figures, and I wouldn't take them out of the box. I'd go to Toys R Us for my birthday, and with my Toys R Us gift card when I was 10 years old, and I'd buy a Star Wars toy, and I'd just keep it in the box, and my parents would say, hey, don't you want to open that? And I'm like, no, I like it like that because I'm a toy collector, guys. And that's what I did. And I still have some things in the packages. I like taking them out now and looking at them and displaying them. Like this guy was in the box a few months ago, but I took him out because I was like, hey, what the heck? Had this guy sealed since I was born, and I just kind of took him out of the package. Augustus Gloop. I was like, why not? I don't really care too much anymore about the whole collecting thing. But that was my whole life for a while. I was like, I'm gonna be a toy collector. I'm gonna be a toy reseller, and that's what I did. And I collected toys. I'm trying to think some of the coolest ones that I used to have. It's kind of hard to tell now because most of them are gone. Honestly, most of them are I've sold or given away or thrown away. Really, these past few weeks I've been moving around to a lot of different places, and one place in particular, as you can tell, that had a lot of our ZRice Films stuff in it. I was like, hey, I gotta move out of here, and it was time to go, and a lot of stuff I threw away. I just was kind of sick of it. Yeah, so a lot of that stuff is gone now, but I have some pictures of my old rooms, and oh my gosh, filled with stuff. Not an inch of wall that was left like a wall. It was all gone. If the walls were white, then I covered them in toys, and you couldn't see the white anymore. That's what I'm trying to say. I just had so many of them, and I don't know if you guys remember the show Toy Hunter. I don't know. It was a while ago, but I wanted to be like that guy. I thought he was cool. He just went around to different conventions and people's houses, and he was like, I heard this guy has a cool G.I. Joe toy. I'm going to go see what it is. I'm going to see if I can buy it. And then I would be like, ooh, yeah. And he would go and do that, and he'd get the toy, and then he'd tell the audience, yeah, this toy was actually worth way more than I bought it for. So, jokes on that guy. And it's pretty funny seeing people get scammed. Well, he wasn't really like a scam. Well, like, by definition, those people who are on the show selling them toys, they've seen the show before. They know how it works. So I guess not too much of a scam. But, hey, I wonder where that toy hunter guy is now. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. All right. Going back a little bit, though, to ZRice Films. As you can see, there's been a sort of change in my content recently. I mean, I obviously just like posting whatever I want, but from, let's say, 20, like, I don't know, 15, 16, 17, I was all about making movies. It was all about short films and skits and stuff like that. And then you get to 2019-ish, and that's when I made Dumb Warfare. And from there on out, I think everything just kind of changed, and we're kind of in the second era. If 2014 to 2019 was were the early years, the golden era of ZRice Films, then 2019 to 2024 is the unhinged era. The videos just got crazier, they got more unhinged, and yeah, hey, I like it that way. I like it unhinged. We're not going into a softy era, okay? Don't you think that era is done yet? Just because I'm sitting down here making this podcast doesn't mean I'm not gonna go over to a bridge and jump off of it in the next second, okay? That doesn't mean that. We're still in our unhinged era, I believe, and I mean, the videos are proof of that. We just made a vlog of us playing with fire, and so many videos coming out this month are going to be massively unhinged. There's a sequel to an old video about avocados or something like that. I think that's going to be released pretty soon. So, hey, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you'll see. You'll find out. You'll find out soon enough. So, hey, we're still going strong here, I think. Yeah, we're still doing our own thing, and yeah, that's the beauty. That's the beauty of YouTube. It just keeps on going. There's no stopping. If you stop, you're gonna drop, and if you continue, you're gonna burn out. And I have burned out many a time. There have been times where I'm like, I do not want to make anything. I have no ideas. I don't want to post anymore. I'm going to quit my YouTube. I'm going to quit my channel. My channel is going nowhere. I get no views. I get no subscribers. I am done. I am dead. I am dying. My channel's done. And I've made rant videos like that where I've just been doing that. Some of them I've deleted. Some of them are still up there. If you could probably find them, where I'm just so sad over the state of my channel and kind of my life. I've been through various depressions. I think I'm in one right now, honestly, but we don't have to talk about that. But yeah, so there have been many rough points, I'd say, in my history here on this channel. So it hasn't all been fun and games. There's been some doom and gloom, and I think that every YouTuber goes about that. If you've been on YouTube for 10 years and have posted videos consistently like I have, I've posted at least a video every 2 weeks. I have over 1,200 videos. That's almost about every 2 weeks, I'd say, or maybe even more so. There was one point, I think COVID and 2021-ish, where I was posting every single day a new video. I was on that grind. I was non-stop. And nowadays, I'm still doing that. I get home from work, and on my 9-to-5 job, and I just get started on making my videos. Get started on writing the next thing, making the next thing. That's why you've seen such an influx of content recently, because that's pretty much all I've been doing. I don't have time to watch movies. I don't have time to watch TV shows. I've been meaning to get around to the new House of Dragon show. I don't have time. I kind of wanted to watch The Acolyte just to see if it's really that bad. but I haven't had time to watch it. I can set aside the time, but that means there'd be less time in the day for me to make videos just like this. I'm recording this on my day off, and after I record this, I'm gonna edit it, and then I'm gonna film another one. So it never ends. The cycle never ends. And what you see in the vlogs and stuff like that, me hanging out with the homies, that's any bit of free time that I have left. And don't get me wrong, friends and family are number uno. If a friend says, hey, do you want to come hang out? I'll say yes. I'm not going to be like, no, I have a video to edit. I've never done that. So homies and friends are number one, because you don't know, this is going to sound a little dark, you don't know how much time you have with people, really. Friends come and go. Some people say family is forever, but family can come and go as well. You know, you never know, really. Nobody is forever. No one lasts forever. And I'm not saying hang out with your friends because they're going to die. I'm not saying that. I'm saying people get flaky, people fall off, people leave, people don't text you back. Other people do die, and you never see them again. Some people don't like you anymore. Some people don't want to hang out with you. Some people do. Some people love you. Some people really want to hang out with you. And you got to make time for everybody. And if you have a large friend group, whether you have a small friend group, whether you have one friend, whether you have no friends out there, if you feel like you don't have anybody to talk to, I'm sure you do. There's somebody out there that knows who you are, that would like to talk to you, that wouldn't mind talking to you. There's always somebody out there. And if you're like, no, there's nobody, I'm completely alone, I have nobody, well, then text me. I don't know, text your neighbor, text somebody. I think it's important to have friends, it's important to have family. And I'm not going to say you're a loser for not having any, but I guess it happens. I guess it happens. There was a point where I didn't feel like I had very many friends, but then I looked around and I said, why was I thinking that? Why did I don't know. I feel very loved, I think, by my friends and my family. I have a good, strong, set group of them, and we all kind of care about each other. And it's a nice little group that we have going. I've always kind of had a little group. As you can see in my videos, a lot of people show up again and again, like my friend Kai, or my friend Heath, or my friend Chris. People have been there from the very beginning. Some people are new. But I've always kind of had a little group of people that I surround myself with. And yeah, I would like to see some people more than I do. And but that's why we're going back to you never know how much time you got with people, so you got to make every moment count. And that's my TED Talk for the day. Make every moment count out there, or else. So count your blessings, folks, because you never know when those blessings are going to get taken away. So I've been posting a lot of clips about the podcast here that we got going on, and some of the most popular clips have been about wrestling. They've been about wrestling, and what are my thoughts on wrestling? There were 2 podcasts ago. Excuse me, by the way. I talked about going to WrestleMania 40, and how I had a blast, and it was a great time, and I couldn't believe that I was there. Actually, it's one of the best days of my life, and it still is. And then I talked a little bit about AEW, the episode before, and how they're falling off, and they're failing. Oh God, what is this? Blah blah blah. And now we're jumped ahead a little bit in the future. My opinions on everything are still probably the same. But I thought it would be fun if I talked about my top 10 favorite wrestlers of all time. Let me pull up the list real quick. This is a list I made a few months ago, but it pretty much is the same. If I change it or if I make any notes on the spot, I'll let you know. Let me find it here. Man. Where is it? Where is it? Oh my gosh, where is it? I'm so sorry, folks. Talking about our top 10 wrestlers of all time, and I don't even have the list. I can't find it. What happened to it? Huh. Weird. Okay, well, I guess I could try to do it from the top of my head. I remember most of them. Starting off with, and this is in no particular order, by the way, my top 10 favorite wrestlers of all time, in no particular order. First one I can think of is The Undertaker. Always been my favorite since I was a kid. Always been my number one hero. I always love everything about his character. From the beginning to the end, I couldn't wait to watch his matches. I started watching wrestling in like 2012, so he was kind of towards the end of his career. But I'll never forget his match with CM Punk. It's still one of my favorites. And watching that live, on pay-per-view, truly magical moment for me as a kid, and I'll never forget it. Mick Foley is another one. He's kind of... he's connected to Undertaker in a lot of ways, more than one. But Mick Foley, he Cactus Jack, Mankind, wherever you want to call him, Mick Foley definitely cracks my top 10. He's just a crazy guy, and I think I like him even more outside of the ring, even because he just seems like a nice, silly, goofy guy. And I love that. Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, he'd be my third pick. Yeah, no, I just think he's just the best in the world to me. I mean, he's a master in the ring. He's great at promos. I don't know. I have a connection to him because I started watching again in 2012, so I saw the whole Yes movement and his whole arc, and still one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Watching that week by week, seeing what's going to happen, and everything ended at WrestleMania 30. Beautiful story. Speaking of the best in the world, CM Punk would definitely be up there. He'd probably be top 3 even. I love CM Punk. I'm a massive fan of his. He has a cool new jacket that they just got put out, and I really want it. The satin jacket. It looks beautiful. I really want it. But yeah, CM Punk, the voice of the voiceless. I don't know. What else is there to say about him, really? 5. Bret Hart. Bret Hart would make my top 10. Again, best in the world at what he does. There's a lot of wrestlers that can call themselves the best in the world, and I'd be like, yeah, you are the best in the world. And I'd be like, yeah, you are the best in the world, Bryan Danielson. Yeah, you are the best in the world, CM Punk. Bret Hart is one of those. He's one of the best in the world. He's the best there is, the best there was, best there ever will be. Matches were flawless, and his match with Owen Hart at WrestleMania 10 is still top 10 classic match for me of all time. So that's 5, I believe, right? Oh, man. Oh, that's 5 from the top of my head. Why can't I think of any more? My goodness, great. Let me look around here. I got some wrestlers around me here in the area. Oh, yeah, Macho Man. I love Macho Man, Randy Savage. He would probably make my top 10 as well. Macho Man is definitely up there. Iconic catchphrases, iconic looks, and he was great in-ring wrestler as well. He had it all. And who can forget Bonesaw in Spider-Man? The man was an actor. Man was legendary. Macho Man, always be remembered, never forgotten. So that's 6. Man, this is going to be harder than I thought. I don't have my freaking list on me, man. I thought I had my top 10 list, and I was ready. I was like, we're going to talk about my top 10 favorite wrestlers. It's on my phone. I'll just pull it up when we go on air. But man, I'm looking around, and I'm like, no, it's not. It's not on here. Where did it go? God dang it, bruh. Where did it go? Yep. No. Don't have it. Stone Cold Steve Austin. I feel like he's a guaranteed wrestler to make anyone's top 10 list. The man is awesome. The man, he's done it all in wrestling. What more do I need to say about Stone Cold? He's Stone Cold, okay? He makes the top 10. He makes every wrestler's Mount Rushmore list. He's always on there. He's just the perfect all-around wrestler. So that's 7, I believe. This is difficult. I'm just trying to think of some of the greats. Not Ric Flair, not The Rock. Love Cody Rhodes, but not my top 10 quite yet. I love the Great Muta. Great Muta has always fascinated me. I remember watching him. I remember catching glimpses of him as a kid. I would just watch like wrestling compilations and stuff, and I'd be like, "Who's that guy with the green mist? He's cool." So I always like knew about Muta, but it wasn't until a lot later, maybe even 2 years ago, where I was like, I need to watch more of this guy. So I started watching his matches, and then I started watching too many. I was a Great Muta hook. I couldn't stop watching Great Muta, Kaiji Muto matches, and I've seen so many of them. I was like, he makes my top 10. He's perfect. He's awesome. I got to see him in person at the Hall of Fame last year for WrestleMania 39 when he got inducted by Ric Flair. Ric Flair gave a weird and long speech that had nothing to do with Great Muta, but hey, Great Muta came out, did his little did the mist, and I was like, that's it. I can die and go to heaven now. I never got to see a Great Muta match in person, but at least I saw the man in person, and that's a living legend right there, the Great Muta. I don't know. I got top 8 there. That's gonna take me a while. Sting might be on there. Sting might be okay. So is that 9? Yeah, Muta and Sting, another pair that have a great connection with each other. Muta and Sting. Sting is of course one. I'm sorry. I'm looking around for like wrestlers because I have wrestling stuff everywhere. I'm like, who they make my top 10. But yeah, Sting, one of the all-time greats, of course. And I heard that his son is getting trained to wrestle right now as well. His son is on the way, and yeah, who knows when he's gonna hit the ring again? But he was at the Sting retirement match. I believe it's gonna be the Wolfpack Sting, whatever his name is. That dude who was Wolfpack Sting. I believe he's the one. Oh my God, that's gonna be wrestlers. They should just both be wrestlers. They can be a Sting tag team. That's something different. That's something new. But yeah, Sting. I only have one more. I think. Okay, so we'll go through them again. Undertaker, Mick Foley, Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, Great Muta, Bret Hart, Stone Cold, Macho Man, Sting. God. I just gotta say somebody. Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton. I do love Hornswoggle. I like Hornswoggle a lot. I love Misawa a lot. I love Toshiaki Kawada a lot. I love Kenny Omega a lot. I don't know. You can fill the last spot in with any of those guys. Yeah, there's too many. Man. Hey, I'm gonna ask you guys a question, and then I'll review them next week. In a future episode, put your top 10 wrestlers down in the comments, and let's see what you got. I'll react and I'll review to them. Hey, maybe I'll make a video out of it. Maybe this even won't be a podcast thing. I'll just make a video talking about my top 10 wrestlers, okay? So put your top 10 in the comments. I'll respond to it in the next podcast, all right? All right. Sounds good. So yeah, that's my bit of wrestling talk for the day. But we have to talk about stocks, all right, and finances. The stock of the day is 7-Eleven. This is 7-Eleven is also the sponsor for the day because I got this at 7-Eleven and this is a sponsor, so that makes 7-Eleven a partial accomplice. So 7-Eleven. Why should you invest in 7-Eleven? Because they're open from 7 to 11. At least they used to be. There's one 7-Eleven by my house that says they're like 24 hours, but you go sometimes at like 4 a.m. and they're closed, and they put a sign on the wall like every time at like 4 a.m. Don't ask me why I'm always at 7-Eleven at 4 a.m., okay? But from like 4 to like maybe 3 a.m. to like 5 a.m. or 6, they're closed because they say they're closed for cleaning. Maybe they're only closed for like a half hour because once I get there at like 3 or 4 a.m., I just say, oh gosh, they're closed again, and then I leave. I make my way out. But hey, maybe they're maybe they're closed for like 20 minutes, and I leave, and I don't come back, and then they open right as I leave. Maybe that's what happens. But no, I don't think so, because I just don't think that's going to happen. 7-Eleven is, they say they're open 24 hours, but then they're not open 24 hours. Oh my gosh, I need to get a cherry Slurpee right now. Give me it. Give me what I want. It's 3 a.m. I don't care if it's broken. I don't care if the Slurpee machine is broken. I'm going to get that Slurpee machine. I'm going to get a brick, and I'm going to throw it through the window, and I'm going to open the door, and I'm going to go inside the 7-Eleven, and I'm going to turn the machine on, and I'm going to wait 5 minutes for the icy machine to kick in and start spinning again. And then once the light turns red, or turns off red, I'm going to get my Slurpee, and I am going to get it, and I'm going to pay for it, because I'm a paying customer. I might pay for the window that I just smashed as well, because I would feel bad. But hey, that's what I'm going to do, 7-Eleven. If you're closed at freaking 3 a.m. again, that's exactly what's going to happen. And that is a threat. No, I'm just kidding. I can't say that. I'm just kidding, YouTube. We don't threat people here. We don't threaten people. Are there some people out there in the world that should be threatened? Yes. Like child predators and stuff like that. They should be threatened. But I don't condone it. Of course, I can't say I condone it. I can't condone it, okay? Don't condone threatening people or harming people or anything of that matter, okay? I just don't do it. You could prank some people, prank your family. I like pranking people. One of the best pranks I ever did was I got a piece of, someone sneezed into a napkin, and I took it out of the trash, and then I threw it at my friend Kai. That's a silly prank. No harm, no foul. He might have gotten AIDS from it, but hey, so many people have AIDS. Some of the greatest of the greats have AIDS. It's not a bad thing. Well, it could be detrimental for your health and your well-being if you have AIDS, but there's treatments for it. You'll get by. You'll get by. I'm not saying I want AIDS, okay? Please, Lord Jeebus, if you hear me out there, do not bestow AIDS upon me, all right? I do not want that. I do not. I don't want that. I don't want AIDS. I don't. I'll say it. I don't want AIDS. Hey, listen, guys. Hey, you over there? I don't want AIDS. That's what I would say if I was in a classroom full of people. Do you know what else I'd do if I saw a classroom full of people? I'd go around with my big lips, and I'd give everyone a kiss. I'd give everyone a smooch on their forehead, because that's just kind of the guy I am. I see a stranger and I just want to kiss him. That's what I want to do. Oh my gosh, look at this. It's Videodrome. I have not opened this. Do you guys want to do a little unboxing right here, or is it just me? We're going to unbox David Cronenberg's Videodrome. Now, it's been a minute since I've actually seen this film. As you could tell, I haven't even opened the Criterion yet, and I got this probably 2 years ago. But it's in desperate need of a rewatch, because I remember really loving it. Obviously, I bought the Criterion here, but we're gonna open it up. Oh, long live the new flesh! I do remember that. There's a tape there, Videodrome tape. What's inside? What do we got inside? Criterion are always beautiful. Look at that. Look at inside of there. Test. Passes the test, I think. We have a booklet as well. Talks a little bit about the film, of course. Some stills from the film as well. I really need to watch this. David Cronenberg released that other film with Viggo Mortensen. Oh man, and Kristen Stewart. What was it called? Crimes of the Future. I love that film. I thought it was very interesting, very unique, and another body horror film, really. And Videodrome, I need to see again, for sure. His son has been making movies as well. Daniel Cronenberg? No, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right at all. Excuse me. But his son has been making films. He made that one. The poster is kind of like this weird, like droopy mask, and it's like orange in the background. You know what I'm talking about. You Cronenberg fanatics know what I'm talking about. Now I'm on more of the Lynch side of fanatics than the Cronenberg side. I do love and respect David Cronenberg, but David Lynch is probably my favorite director of all time. That's another topic I guess we can talk about. Directors, or just David Lynch, I guess. I'm a massive David Lynch fan. I've loved his stuff for many years now, ever since I first saw Eraserhead, I would say. I saw Eraserhead quite a while ago, I feel like, at this point. And I was just, since then, I was like, who is this David Lynch guy? I've seen every single one of his films. I've seen every bit of Twin Peaks multiple times. I've seen his music videos. I've listened to his music. I'm a subscriber to the David Lynch Theater. For like 2 years straight, I watched every single weather report and every single thing he uploaded, pretty much. Even the one where he did the swirl, the number of the day, pick a number. My lucky number was 3. I was always hoping that he would pull a 3, and if he did, I knew it was going to be a good day that day, and he usually was. So I was always hoping for a 3. That was my number. But yeah. Anyways, David Lynch. I'm a big David Lynch fan. I think he's a very fascinating guy. He has an album that just came out. I really wanted to get it, actually. I still might buy it on vinyl. Just because I'm a big supporter, just because I'm a big fan. I think it'd be cool if he toured it, if he toured the album. And he doesn't really sing on it, but he's like a composer in a way. And yeah, I think that'd be really interesting, actually. David Lynch, you should go on tour. I just want to see David Lynch in person. I would give David Lynch a kiss on the forehead. But yeah, favorite David Lynch movie? I would probably still say Eraserhead. Eraserhead's still probably my favorite. Hey, it's the first one I watched. I connect with it the most in some sort of strange way. I connect to it. Dumbland is pretty good. If you guys haven't seen or heard of Dumbland, go watch that. That's pretty funny. And what else has he done? He did like this Electric Dreams atmosphere. I have the David Lynch lime green box set, and it's in there. That was very cool. Yeah, David Lynch. Hey, he's one of the best. He's one of the best right there. Big David Lynch fan. Yeah. So, what else should we talk about here today, guys? Man, is it going to be more one of the shorter episodes today? It might be, because I have a lot to do. I have a lot of things to film. I got a lot of things to edit. This month is going to be jam-packed. Let me just reiterate this. Jam-packed full to the brim with videos and extra content, spicy things, spicy memes. You're going to get it all right here on ZRice Films. And don't forget to follow our website, ZRiceFilms.com. Don't forget to follow our TikTok, ZRice Films. Don't forget to follow our Instagram at ZRice Films and at ZRice Clips and Dumb Warfare and the Justice Wars. We have many Instagrams. My Instagram, Rice Reviews Official, also has an Instagram, and that's where I just review movies. It's looking a little dry out there. It's looking a little bare lately because I haven't really been watching a whole lot of shit. But hey, it's going to be ramping up real soon, I hope. I think after maybe this month, really, because I don't know if I'm going to have a lot of time this month to really watch anything, because I've been so hooked up on getting everything done that I need to be done for the ZRice Films 10th anniversary. I'm trying to make, I've said this before, I've tried to make a movie a month. I think the movie this month is going to be my documentary. That's going to count as my movie this month, because I really want it to be a full-fledged, in-depth documentary, and I really want it to be really good. So that's going to happen, and yeah. Next month's film is going to be a little bit better, I think. Not better, I shouldn't say that. But there's going to be a story to it, I should say. Well, the documentary has a story to it. It's following the you know what I'm saying. There's going to be characters in it. Guys, I keep contradicting myself. Jeez Louise, man. My phone keeps going off. Who the hell is texting me? Yeah. Got some things I got to do tonight. Tonight I'm going out to the bar with some friends. It's going to be a good night tonight. And yeah, so hopefully with the next few weeks, there's going to be some new guests on the show as well. Hopefully next week we have a guest. We should have a guest next week. If everything goes to plan, everything goes all right, we'll have a guest. And yeah, if not, hey, that's all right, because we're going to be back. We're going to be coming hard. This is the 10th anniversary month. I want it to be big. I want it to be special. I want it to be cool. So subscribe to any of the social medias that you want. Whatever you subscribe to, I'm going to be posting about the 10th anniversary, probably an abundant amount. So just be prepared to be spammed. Because if there's one thing I like to do, I do like to promote myself. And yeah, if you don't promote yourself and you're an artist, how can you expect to move on to the next level? You know, you can't just make a picture, you can't paint a picture and then leave it and just leave it in your room and expect to be a famous artist. You know, you got to put it out there a little bit, and that's what I want to do. If you want to be a famous artist, you got to put yourself out there. If you don't really care about the fame, okay, just paint a picture. You're good. If that makes any sense. But I'm not saying I want to be famous. I'm not saying that I need to be famous or anything like that. But, you know, exposure is always nice. And when you're a YouTuber and you want to be a successful one, that's the word I should make. I want to be successful, okay? Not I need to be famous, but I need to be successful. I want to be successful, and that's why I always promote myself. I want to be successful. That's a better way of putting it, I should say. So yeah, subscribe to all that you want. The Zander Rice show is going to continue every single week until the end of time. Every single Wednesday, I should say, until I lose my voice, probably. Then we'll be like, hey, no episode this week, guys. But then we'll be back again in the next week, and then in the next week, and then in the next week. We're going to have so many guests, so many things are going to be happening. It's going to be just a really good time. Maybe we'll do a whole ASMR episode. Hey, how about that? Maybe we'll do an episode where we look at drip. Maybe we'll do an episode where you talk about top 10 horror movies, top 10 action movies, top 10 science fiction movies. We're going to bring on guests. We're going to be talking about top 10 places you've been to. I live in San Diego. What are the top 10 destination spots in San Diego? There's so many things to talk about, so many things that can happen, so many things that I want to happen. This is the Zander Rice Show. Thank you for watching. My name is Zander Rice. I hope you have a very holly jolly, happy new year kind of day. Don't forget to watch last week's episode with Mr. Kai Guy. It's a little unhinged, but I hope you do like it. And ZRice Films 10th anniversary. Thank you for watching. There's going to be so much more to come. So subscribe. Attack that like button. Strangle it. Strangle that like button. And beat that subscribe button until it can't speak anymore. And I'll see you guys in the next video.